Have you ever wondered how to use a bullet journal? Like actually how to use a bullet journal, how to fill it out, how to stay consistent, how to keep up with your bullet journal. Hello beautiful, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. If you are new here, my name's Caitlin. This video I'm going to be showing you how I filled out my May plan with me for 2022. If you haven't already seen my mushroom theme, I go through both the general setups, but also show you my weekly spreads, which is a little something different. I'll have both of those videos linked up above and in the description box down below for you. Remember, my spreads might be a little bit different than yours, but here's how I fill out my bullet journal. First things first is my monthly calendar. Now, this calendar always starts at the exact same place. I go back to my future log, which I set up at the beginning of the year, and I pull all of that information from there and populate it into my monthly calendar. After that is done, next things that I'm gonna start adding in there are things like my bills, rent, utilities, cell phone bills, anything that needs to get paid throughout the month are going to go on my calendar. Then I keep going from there, adding in any information that might pop up throughout the month, anything that I want to plan for both my personal and business life, but that's really it for the top calendar. Now the bottom section, you're always able to do something a little different. If you don't want to write in that top section that I just have filled out, you're able to use the bottom section. For me personally, I'm going to be using that for a checklist for the month, just to try something a little bit different. Generally speaking, my monthly spreads don't need a lot of space. My content calendar is something that I do both on my computer and in my bullet journal. I talked a little bit about this in my Why I Quit Bullet Journaling video about finding a process that works best for you. If you need to have both systems, both digital and physical, those are okay. Work with what is going to be best for you. For my content planner, I like to jot everything out on my laptop in a Word doc first and rough that draft around a little bit. Once I have a final draft, that is what goes into my bullet journal each month to reference, because that is really what I need. Just a quick reference to know what is coming up throughout the month. You're also able to use this as a project planner if you aren't into content creating. If you do want to see what I'm going to be posting on my Instagram, just make sure to follow me over there. You're going to be seeing a lot more of these spreads filled out, as well as a couple other little bonus videos. For my project planner, this is the first time that I'm using something like this in my bullet journal for a while. I'm used to project planning with my school when I was in university. Now that I'm no longer a student, it's been a hot minute since I have used one of these spreads before. This layout is a little bit different, but I am adjusting to what my needs were for the month and this specific project. How I'm filling this one out is I am starting with my May tasks. I'm writing down anything general that I think is going to need to be done to accomplish my goal of getting a student planner out to you guys in the month of July. Now, it can be anything, big, small, and maybe I might need a couple more pages just to write down other more in-depth steps that I need to take to accomplish all of those May tasks. For the things that I can't get done in May, that's okay. I have a June task spot just at the bottom, and I'm going in and I'm filling that out just based on what I think might not get done in May, but has to for sure get done in June to make sure that I get you guys what you are looking for. In the center, I just have a little section based on 3 categories: planner, production, and promotion. Now, those 3 things are gonna get filled out, and I'm doing a little cheat here because I don't want to use my gouache in this section. I want to use a yellow Tombow Fudenosuke pen instead to make things a little bit easier for me and add a yellow color to match our theme. For me, I plan to fill out all of these spreads every single day because I want to see where I'm being consistent and what I'm lacking to make sure that I can get my project done on time instead of filling things out at the end of the week, something like that, which I've done before with trackers in the past. On the right-hand side, right next to my student planner, are my business goals. This layout I have found to be the most simple, easiest, and it actually is the most beneficial for my life as well. Basically, what I do when I plan out my goals is I look for a few things. 1, I want it to be something within my control. 2, I want to have a variety of different tasks, things that are going to be difficult, medium, and easy. That increases the likelihood that I'm going to get something done, so I can check off that easy task and feel more motivated to get the harder things done. I usually do about 3 tasks per month for each category that I'm looking at, both my YouTube, Instagram, and my blog. Of course, you don't have to do this. have 1, 2, 3 goals for the whole month, but I like to target around 3 per category because it roughly translates to about 2 goals per week. If you're interested in seeing a little bit more behind the scenes of what it goes into create videos like this or post things online in relation to bullet journaling, let me know. I'm always interested in putting in more content creation stuff and some studio vlogs if that is what you're interested in. If you're looking at my gratitude log right now, you can probably see a couple smudges on the page. You know my bullet journal is loved, but that is because we just got a brand new puppy. My girlfriend and I picked it up just a few days ago. Foolish me left my bullet journal out and the wet puppy nose started smearing my page a little bit with some paw prints and everything else. So that ended up making my gratitude log just at the very first day of May because we picked him up and it was a nice little trip going down. For me, my gratitude log, generally speaking, I like to do this in the morning once the day has passed. So if it is May 2nd, I'm filling in May 1st tasks. Generally speaking, I fill this out before work when I fill out everything else in my bullet journal because that's the time that works best for me. If I miss the morning, say I'm running a little late, I sit down and I put all of this information in at lunch. I'm gonna make my bullet journal work for me, and time is a big thing when it comes to bullet journaling, and I wanna make sure that's not a reason why I quit. You can end up seeing in my April and even my March gratitude logs that not every day gets filled out. And I'm becoming more comfortable with that idea. For my walking tracker, I didn't necessarily know what I wanted my dots color to be for each category. If you're ever unsure about something in your bullet journal, that's okay. Just come back and do it later. That is what I did for this. So when I sat down, I looked at the page and I thought, you know what I'm missing is a little bit of yellow in here. So that's the color that I ended up going with. I did end up mixing those 2 yellow tones from my Winsor & Newton gouache paint kit. And the one thing that I love about the Archer and Olive journal in particular is it doesn't bleed through or crinkle the page as much with the gouache because it is 160 GSM. I'm really happy to announce that I did end up getting an affiliate code with them where you can get 10% off if you're interested in shopping their journals, pens, every type of collection that they have over there. I'll just leave it linked in the description box down below and you can use code CreateWithCait10. Because taking out gouache paint can take a bit of time, setting things up like the paint, the brushes, the water, and getting your stuff all in a row that you need, mixing the colors. Can I go on or what? Because that takes a little bit of time, one thing that I did to work around this is to fill out my walking tracker at the end of the week. With that, it's more of a reflection basis to see how far I've walked. Maybe if it's a Wednesday, I'm only ever walking 2,000 steps. On the weekend, I'm walking a bit more, and I can see where I can work towards getting my step count a little bit higher, which is ultimately what my goal is. I'm really interested to see how the springtime is going to be coming with the walking, especially now that we have a little puppy friend in the house who will help us get out. My plant tracker is one thing that I introduced in my March plan with me, and I'm not going to be filling this out in the video right now because right now it's not relevant. I haven't moved my plants from the basement out into the backyard where all the sunlight and everything is will be 24/7. So I will be filling that out a little bit later. If you're interested in seeing what that looks like, I will for sure be putting that stuff on my Instagram. My reflection tracker is a little bit more personal, and I thought that I would share at least a little bit with you on how I plan to go about filling this out. At the end of each week, I just look and reflect at what's going on in my life and really writing down my thoughts, feelings, and experiences that happened throughout the week. However, I do have a couple of questions written out that I want to accomplish during the month. Things like, why are you stressed? What can you do to fix it? Where do you want to be at the end of the month with personal, business, and relationships? What is something that you can do for yourself? Have you done it yet? Why or why not? Has it helped? And what are you most proud of? Those questions I want to take away and just write in a separate journal. It's going to be a little chaotic, and I really want to just make sure that I can ground myself somehow for the month of May. And I think these questions are really going to help do that. Reflection tracking is something that I just recently started including in my bullet journal, and I think that it's going to become a very big staple. With my weekly spread, I have the page divided into 2 different sections, the left and the right side. The left side is just a little bit smaller, the right side a little bigger. The left side is dedicated specifically for the tasks that I want to get done in relation to my monthly goals. So if we just flip back to my business goal page, All of these different tasks that I want to get done are going to be accomplished throughout the week. What I do is on Monday when I'm filling out my spread, I think, what are one thing that I can tackle from that list today? Then on the right hand side of that little row, I just write in my daily tasks. At the beginning of the week, it's a little bit more mellow. The end of the week starts rushing up a little bit with all the tasks that I want to get done. That's the thought process that I go behind. Keeps me accountable for my goals, keeps me focused for my daily tasks, and this type of layout works really well for me personally. All of the other bullet journal weekly spreads that I created last week, I'm going to show you them filled out on my Instagram. If you are interested in seeing what those look like, just filled out a little further on. But that is really it. I hope the step-by-step guide on how I fill out my bullet journal helps you stay consistent, and my little tips and tricks help you there as well. If you haven't already watched my May videos, I'll just have them right over here and down below there. And make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for future videos. I'll see you next week when I am doing my food journal. Bye!